What's up, Mixed Nutters? It's your boy Marcus here. Today we covering the top 5 celebrities that got acquitted of serious crimes. Coming in at number 5, we got Lilo B Jr. You guys may remember him. The name may not sound familiar, but this dude was in The Bronx Tale. If you ain't seen The Bronx Tale, definitely recommend that. Throw that up on the screen. Bronx Tale, good show. Good movie. Definitely check it out. But anyway, he was in this movie and was a prominent actor coming up, doing really well for himself. Let's take a look at this. Now, this was his breakout role, and he later went on to act in projects such as Crimson Tide, Enemy of the State, and The Sopranos. But he was like an up-and-coming mafia actor. I mean, this dude was doing good for himself. I mean, Sopranos, these were like the top movies back in the day, remember? His career took a turn for the worse in the mid-2000s when he turned to drugs to cope with the newfound fame and everything. Always a bad decision. Look, fame and money increase what you already are, so if you got any type of problems or vices, they are super increased once you get all that cash and fame. Be careful, Mixed Nutters. Be careful what you wish for. In 2005, he wound up breaking into a house. An NYPD police officer showed up. Him and his accomplice, they got into it with the police officer. Police officer wound up getting killed. Now, he pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder, but of course, the court system did not agree with him. He wound up getting sentenced to 10 years for this. He served 8 years, got out in December 2013, and it just led him down a bad path, man. Stay away from illicit drugs, bro. Also, we need better drug programs here in America because, it can ruin somebody with plenty of cash. This dude was making a lot of money and he still couldn't afford a drug habit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the money can destroy you. Source of success, source of failure. Jeez. Coming in at number 4, Robert Blake. Now, I know you guys probably heard of Robert Blake, or at least he sounds familiar. But let's take a look at his story. Let's throw a picture of him up here. This is him older, but this is still him. So he was a television actor, Robert Blake, and he had a real rough marriage with Bonnie Lee Blakely. And after she was shot to death in Blake's car in May 2001, suspicion quickly fell on Blake for arranging a hit on his wife. Of course, he was soon arrested. And testimony of 2 stuntmen who said that Blake had tried to hire them to murder Blakely. But here's the thing, man. When you famous and you got infidelity going on and all that, like, being famous, the reason why they pay you so much is because you have no privacy, alright? You have to buy that shit back. Also, if anything happens to any loved one or any type of drama, you gonna be on the chopping block. The internet will run through every scenario and every conspiracy theory possible to make it seem like you did it. So you gotta be careful, son. But this dude, I don't know if he did it. The stunt man saying he hired him, that seems mad shady, but hey, I'm not judging that he got acquitted. It wasn't enough evidence, but still, shadiness. So, anyway, later a civil court found Blakely liable for his wife's wrongful death. He was ordered to pay $30 million, which was substantially reduced to $15 million to her children. Damn. So what that really means is that like the court felt he definitely did it, but they couldn't get him. So they hit him with that old wrongful death suit. Because if they really thought it was a random act of violence, I don't think they would have charged him money for it. So, you know what I mean? They just try to hit him in the pockets. Ooh. Careful who you in a relationship with, y'all. Coming in at number 3, we all know this dude. MJ, aka Michael Jackson. Which one? This is the white one from the 90s. There's so many different versions of Michael Jackson. Let's just time out. Let's just take a break and look at how many different versions of Michael Jackson there are. We're gonna call this segment Faces of Michael. Michael Jackson, faces of Michael Jackson, faces of Michael, faces of Michael Jackson. Alright, so let's dig into this. Michael, man, I don't know what happened there. Because here's the thing. We try to judge his actions as if he was a regular dude, but dude was famous from like a young child, alright? So you can't apply regular person logic to what he does. I mean, he had a monkey named Bubbles, bro. I mean, what? Nobody called him out on it. And then he had a whole theme park called Never Neverland. Not wanting to grow up like Peter Pan because he never got a chance to be a kid. So I don't know if he was just dumb or if he just truly didn't understand the nature of what was happening. Kind of hard to say. Michael Jackson actually died at the age of 50, and there's still accusations swirling around him with the pedophilia thing, man. I mean, they even did that Leaving Neverland or whatever documentary. What was it? Leaving Never... some shit like that? I don't know. Leaving Neverland or whatever it was. I watched the documentary, highly disturbing. But it's too hard to call what there, and I just really don't know. But I mean, he wasn't acquitted, and he kind of, he was acquitted of it, but it was just, I don't know, it's hard to call. Like some of the people he paid settlements to, but court fees when you're that rich are really crazy. So sometimes it's easier just to pay your way out of a situation than to draw it out and then spend millions of dollars just to prove to people you didn't do it when you know you didn't. I don't know. Craziness. And in at number 2 is Snoop Dogg. This dude, he's one of my favorite dudes. Not just rapper, but just like people in general. Calling everybody nephew, smoking a ton of weed. I mean, it's hard not to like this guy. But back in the day, a lot of people don't remember this if you're younger. Dude was a legit gang member and gangster. Alright, so let's dig into the details of this. Now, on August 25th, 1993, Snoop Dogg and his bodyguard, McKinley Lee, were involved in a conflict with rival gang members and ended with a gang member being shot by Lee. Both Snoop and Lee turned themselves in and pleaded not guilty. And they claimed that the gang member was going for a gun in his waistband when he was shot. The pair went to trial in 1995, and the prosecution claimed that the gang member's death was a gangland murder and nothing more. The defense argued that the shooting was legally justified case of self-defense. The jury acquitted both Snoop and Lee of murder charges. However, the jurors deadlocked on the lesser charges of voluntary manslaughter. Prosecutors chose not to retry the pair on the lesser charges. As a result of Snoop and Lee walked away from the courthouse as free men. So, there you have it. You know what I mean? But see, here's the thing though, people. If you are about that life, right? You a gang member and you living, a wild and crazy life. Yo, once you blow up and get famous, you got to leave that behind, man. You famous, all right? It ain't just two dudes arguing. They gonna be like, yo, that's Snoop or whoever your rapper name is. They gonna instantly recognize you. Now you're in court fighting for your life, because if you get convicted of murder, you ain't gonna never see the light of day. Especially if you black or brown. Remember that. So, he got acquitted because it was self-defense, but it wouldn't have to be no self-defense if you weren't in a gang. So remember, people, stay out of gangs, aka cults, big groups that's attacking people of another group. Stay out of that. Never ends well, ever. Coming in at number 1 is O.J. Simpson. We ain't talking about orange juice, we talking about O.J. Simpson. A lot of y'all probably out there pretty young. Don't remember the trial whatsoever, but this was like the biggest thing on TV, bro. Nobody has ever watched the trial as much as the O.J. Simpson trial. I don't remember anything that happened recently that comes even close, man, to be honest with you. O.J. Simpson trial was a big deal, son. On TV every day. And I mean, some of the most quotable lines that's not in a movie ever came from this trial. Let's dig into it. Alright, here go a little picture of OJ. And this is a picture of OJ at the time. Now, you look a lot different now, man. We're going to show them photos. But so on June 12th, 1994, one of the most famous legal cases in U.S. history began with Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman were stabbed to death outside Nicole's home in Los Angeles. They had a mountain of evidence on O.J. Simpson. This case was clear cut, closed, boom, they had him. But the jurors later on admitted that they thought O.J. Simpson was in fact guilty, but the defense was poking holes in all the prosecutor's claims. There was so much evidence that was tampered with that they could no longer trust it and didn't feel right actually, convicting the dude. Which is technically correct because, I mean, if you had him, why you planting evidence and altering stuff? So he got away with it. And I mean, look, people, whether you're famous or not, watch your lifestyle. Your lifestyle can put you in really weird situations, and being famous only make it worse. Because if this was a regular dude, it wouldn't have been broadcast like a soap opera every day for like a year. Don't go that route. Alright, Mixed Nutters, that's it for me today. I'm about to make like a baby and head out. If you want to support the channel, go to buymeacoffee.com/mixednuts. Remember, we got new videos coming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And until next time,